Only 72 hours separated Alex's emotional walk-off center court at Wimbledon from her flight to Washington, D.C. There was no extended vacation, no week at home to process the disappointment, no chance to dwell on the heartbreak of a fourth-round exit that still lingered like every painful near miss does for an athlete who knows she could have gone further. Instead, she packed her bags, crossed the Atlantic, and turned the page. Now, her focus shifts to one of the strongest WTA 500 tournaments of the season, the DC Open, where a prize pool of more than $1 million and 7 of the world's top 20 players await. The setting itself tells an important story. As Alex arrived at the William H. G. Fitzgerald Tennis Center in Washington, the atmosphere felt different. Fans had already gathered outside the venue, lining the fences in anticipation. But what stood out most wasn't the size of the crowd. It was the sea of Philippine flags waving proudly on American soil. Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia, collectively known as the DMV region, are home to one of the largest Filipino-American communities in the United States. For many of them, Alex's arrival wasn't simply another stop on the WTA Tour. It felt like a homecoming, even if home is thousands of miles away. That reception says everything about where she is today. A year and a half ago, nobody was waiting outside tournament gates with flags. Back then, Alex was fighting through qualifying rounds in Miami, ranked outside the world's top 140. She was another talented young player trying to prove she belonged among the sport's elite. There were no large crowds, no headlines, and no global attention. Only long days of hard work and the quiet belief that her time would come. Today, that transformation is impossible to ignore. To understand how she reached this moment, you have to look back at where it all began. At just 13 years old, Alex left Quezon City in the Philippines and moved alone to Mallorca, Spain, to train at the Rafael Nadal Academy. It was a difficult decision, but one her family believed was necessary. The Philippines couldn't offer the same world-class training environment she needed to maximize her potential. The academy could. Living far from home, she trained every day against elite junior players from around the world, learning discipline, resilience, and the relentless work ethic that has become the hallmark of Nadal Academy graduates. Her progress quickly became evident. She won the Australian Open Girls Doubles title in 2020, followed by the French Open Girls Doubles Championship in 2021, becoming the first Filipino to win either title. Then came the transition to professional tennis. Like every young player, she experienced the growing pains. Early exits, tough defeats, matches that slipped away despite being within reach. Every setback became another lesson, another layer in her development. All of it prepared her for what has become a truly historic 2026 season. Before looking ahead to Washington, it's worth remembering what happened just weeks earlier. In June, Alex delivered one of the most impressive stretches of tennis of her career. On June 17th in Berlin, she defeated former Wimbledon champion Elena Rybakina in straight sets. Facing one of the biggest servers and most powerful hitters on tour, Alex remained composed, absorbing the pace before turning defense into attack with remarkable confidence. The following day, she produced another statement victory, defeating Aryna Sabalenka, one of the game's most dominant champions. Back-to-back victories over two of the biggest names in women's tennis weren't fortunate upsets. They were convincing performances that forced the tennis world to see Alex differently. One major upset can sometimes be dismissed as a perfect day or a favorable matchup. Two consecutive wins over players of that caliber demand respect. Those victories changed the conversation. Alex was no longer viewed as a promising young talent. She had become a genuine contender. Then came Wimbledon. Entering the tournament as the number 29 seed, the first Filipino singles player ever to be seeded at a Grand Slam, she played with the confidence of someone determined to prove that ranking underestimated her. In the third round, she faced defending champion and world number 3 Iga Swiatek, a 6-time Grand Slam champion widely expected to advance comfortably. Instead, Alex delivered one of the biggest wins of her career. She defeated Swiatek in straight sets, 7-6, 6-2, controlling the match with fearless shot-making, remarkable composure, and unwavering belief from the opening point. Afterward, she shared a message that quickly resonated across the Philippines. "The court is not the place to diminish yourself." It wasn't simply a memorable quote. It reflected the mindset of a player who had spent months building the confidence to compete with the very best, and who no longer saw herself as an underdog. She continued her remarkable run by defeating Elena Ostapenko and Madison Keys to reach the fourth round of Wimbledon, becoming the deepest-reaching Filipino singles player in the tournament's history. Alex's unforgettable Wimbledon run came to an end in the fourth round against Jasmine Paolini, but the result told only part of the story. As she walked off center court for the final time, the crowd rose to its feet. It was a standing ovation for a player who had won the admiration of fans throughout the tournament. Even in defeat, the applause reflected just how much her fearless tennis and humble personality had resonated. Later that day, Alex shared a simple message on social media: "Everything." Then she added one more word in Filipino: "Salamat." Thank you. There were no excuses, no frustration, and no lingering disappointment. Just gratitude for the journey and quiet confidence that the next chapter was already beginning. Less than 48 hours later, she was on a flight to Washington, D.C. And what awaits her there is one of the strongest WTA 500 fields seen in years. This year's DC Open has the depth and quality of a Grand Slam, bringing together some of the biggest names in women's tennis. Elena Rybakina is in the field, setting up the possibility of an intriguing rematch after Alex defeated her convincingly in Berlin only a few weeks earlier. Marta Kostyuk also returns to Washington, carrying the confidence of a former finalist who knows these courts well. Naomi Osaka continues her comeback journey, gradually rebuilding her game while reminding the tennis world why she was once one of its most dominant champions. Then there's Venus Williams. Her legendary career has already secured her place among the greatest players in history, but every time she steps onto a tennis court, she still commands attention. Her presence alone makes every match feel special. Standing in the way of a new champion is defending title holder Leylah Fernandez, who returns determined to defend the trophy she captured last year. With so many accomplished players sharing the same draw, predicting how the tournament will unfold becomes nearly impossible. But perhaps the biggest challenge facing Alex isn't her opponents. It's the calendar. Last season, the demanding transition from grass to hard courts eventually caught up with her. The emotional highs of a breakthrough summer, combined with the physical demands of switching surfaces, left little time for recovery before the North American hard court swing. By the time Cincinnati arrived, fatigue had become impossible to ignore. It served as a reminder that even the most talented athletes must learn how to manage a long and demanding season. Now, the same question returns. Can a player reach peak form during the grass season and then produce that same level on hard courts only a few weeks later? History suggests it's one of the toughest challenges in professional tennis. Grass rewards quick reactions, lower ball bounces, and explosive movement, while hard courts demand different footwork, different timing, and greater physical endurance. Many players who thrive at Wimbledon struggle to carry that momentum into the summer hard court season. But Alex has spent all of 2026 proving that history doesn't always apply to her. Time after time, she has defeated opponents she wasn't expected to beat, succeeded on surfaces that weren't considered ideal for her game, and delivered her best tennis when expectations were highest. That's why writing her off would be a mistake. Another key reason behind her rapid rise has been the guidance she has received at the Rafael Nadal Academy. This season, Tony Nadal has taken a much more active role in her development. The legendary coach, who helped guide Rafael Nadal to one of the greatest careers in tennis history, has become deeply involved in Alex's preparation. According to Tennis 365 and comments from her head coach Joan Bosch, Tony's role extends far beyond occasional advice. Alex has spoken openly about those conversations. She says Tony tells her exactly what she needs to hear, even when it isn't easy. That honesty has helped strengthen not only her game, but also her mentality. More importantly, Tony has repeatedly expressed his belief that Alex possesses the talent and character required to compete with the very best in the world. Coming from someone who spent decades developing a 22-time Grand Slam champion, those words carry enormous significance. Reports have also indicated that Rafael Nadal himself has shared tactical insights with Alex's coaching team, giving her access to one of the greatest tennis minds the sport has ever known. When exceptional coaching meets exceptional talent, remarkable progress often follows. Alex's 2026 season is proving exactly that. She arrives in Washington carrying the confidence of victories over elite opponents, the momentum of a historic Wimbledon campaign, and the support of one of the most respected coaching teams in tennis. She also arrives having earned her place. Early speculation suggested she had received a wild card into the tournament, but the WTA's official entry list confirmed otherwise. Her ranking, built through outstanding performances throughout the season, secured her direct entry into the main draw. No wild card, no special invitation, no shortcuts. Every opportunity has been earned the same way she has earned every milestone in her career, through hard work, determination, and victories on the court. That has always been the foundation of Eala's journey. Nothing handed to her, nothing given, everything earned. The stakes in Washington couldn't be higher. A deep run at the DC Open would move Alex another step closer to breaking into the WTA Top 20, a milestone that would represent the highest ranking ever achieved by a Filipino tennis player. Winning the title would be even more significant. It would become the biggest championship of her career and send a powerful message ahead of the US Open, which is only a few weeks away. It would prove that her success wasn't limited to the grass courts of Wimbledon. It would show that she can compete and win on any surface. And that's the quality that separates very good players from truly great ones. The North American hardcourt swing is one of the most important stretches of the tennis calendar. After Washington comes the National Bank Open in Montreal, followed by the Cincinnati Open, and finally the season's last Grand Slam, the US Open in New York. If Alex can build momentum in Washington and carry it through those events, the impact on her career could be enormous. She could begin the 2027 season firmly established among the world's top 15, backed by Grand Slam success and victories over some of the biggest names in tennis across multiple surfaces. That would place her in a completely different position from where she started this season. Washington also offers something more personal. For years, Alex has carried the hopes of Philippine tennis long before the rest of the world recognized her talent. Throughout her journey, Filipino fans have remained incredibly loyal. Whether in Madrid, Paris, Berlin, or London, Philippine flags have become a familiar sight in the stands, transforming away matches into something that feels remarkably close to home. That same passion has now arrived in Washington. With one of the largest Filipino-American communities in the United States, the city is expected to provide one of the most enthusiastic crowds Alex has experienced outside the Philippines itself. For a young athlete still adapting to the responsibility of representing an entire nation, that support means far more than simple encouragement. It serves as a reminder that every match carries significance beyond the scoreboard. Every victory inspires another young Filipino to believe that professional tennis is within reach. Every breakthrough encourages parents to dream a little bigger for their children. What Alex has accomplished extends far beyond rankings and trophies. She has helped make tennis visible in a country where the sport once received little attention, showing an entire generation that success on the biggest stages is possible. That legacy will endure long after any single tournament has been forgotten. As for Washington, the outcome remains impossible to predict. Alex arrives with confidence, momentum, and some of the best tennis of her career. At the same time, she also carries the physical and emotional demands of an intense grass court season that reached its peak at Wimbledon before ending in a heartbreaking fourth-round defeat. Transitioning from grass to hard courts is never simple. The movement changes, the bounce changes, the rhythm of every point changes. Many of her opponents have already spent weeks competing on hard courts, giving them an advantage in adapting to the surface. Alex may need time to find that same rhythm, but uncertainty has become a familiar part of her story. Throughout the season, she has repeatedly exceeded expectations, proving that predictions don't always apply to her. That is what makes this tournament so compelling. It isn't simply about winning another title. It's about discovering whether the extraordinary level she displayed at Wimbledon was a temporary peak, or the beginning of a new standard. The answer could define not only her summer, but the next chapter of her career.